Welcome to the IMCP Profiles and Partnership, the podcast that showcases how Microsoft partners and IMCP members boost their business by collaborating with other members and partners. I'm your co-host, Anthony Carano, and in each episode, I'll be talking to some of the most innovative and successful partners in the Microsoft ecosystem. The International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners, otherwise known as IAMCP, is a community of Microsoft partners who help each other grow and thrive. Members can find and connect with other partners locally and globally and access exclusive resources and opportunities. Whether you're looking for new customers, new markets, or new solutions, IMCP can help you achieve those goals. We'll hear their stories, learn from their experiences, and discover the best practices and strategies they use to increase customer loyalty and grow revenues. Whether you're a new partner or an established one, you'll find valuable insights and inspiration in this podcast. We hope you enjoy this podcast and find it useful and inspiring. If you do, please subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on social media and connect with us on our website, www.profilesandpartnership.com, where you can find more information, resources, and opportunities to partner for success. Thank you for listening, and now let's get started with today's episode. Before we dive into our interview, let me ask you a question. As a Microsoft partner and a member of the IAMCP, how do you find and develop partner relationships that will help you grow your business? Finding the right partner can be challenging, but it can also be rewarding. In fact, according to a recent study by IDC, Microsoft partners who collaborate with other partners generate almost 2.5 times more revenue growth than those who don't. That's a huge difference, and it shows the power of partnering. So how do you leverage the Microsoft Partner Network, IMCP, and other resources to support your partnerships? And how do you ensure success for your customer? These are some of the questions we'll explore in this podcast with the help of our guest, a recent global and EMEA P2P Award finalist who is also an expert in partnering. He'll share stories, challenges, and successes and give you practical tips and advice on how to partner for success. Are you ready to join us on this journey? Then stay tuned because we have a great show for you today. Our guest is Adam Shapiro, the CEO at Autopilot Workflow Solutions, an award-winning ISV and Microsoft partner with expertise in the delivery of automated workflow solutions. Autopilot has achieved amazing results, such as the one in the story you're about to hear, in their partnership with Greenlight Solutions, a SharePoint and Power Platform company whose client needed an automated accounts payable workflow solution integrated with their new Dynamics implementation. Let's hear what he has to say. Welcome, Adam, to the podcast today. Really appreciate you joining us. Let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role in the company.
Anthony, great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. So, I guess a little bit of history. I got into the IT industry during the dot-com era in the late 90s, and I was looking after a team of developers, and 3 developers came across to me and said, business can't be this difficult. Let's start our own business. So we started Pilotfish Digital in 2001, which was a business focused in web development, custom dev, and SharePoint development. And we ran that business until 2014. So we had a nice long road there. But we found that we were custom developing workflows on top of SharePoint and other solutions. So in 2014, we thought, right, let's try and build an annuity income business. And that's when Autopilot was born. I'm based in Cape Town in South Africa, and been in the IMCP for 3 years now.
Oh, fantastic. And what prompted you to join IMCP?
I saw a link on LinkedIn for them, and I just thought this is an amazing opportunity to be with people in the same mind space, in the Microsoft space, not only in the Microsoft space, but partnering in the Microsoft space. And it's been a huge part of my life. I've met people from all over the world. I've come to learn about different events, different learnings, met with huge number of partners, advisors.
Tell us a little bit more about your company's area of expertise and your specializations.
So Autopilot is an automation company. So we automate internal process flow within businesses. That's primarily in the finance space, but we also work in HR, sales. Our strength is customizing automation for organizations. And then the second part of the business is in the onboarding space. So assisting companies to onboard new vendors, new employees, or new customers. So we really streamline that process. And one of our key features is that we integrate fully into teams. So
Mm.
while it's in the same place that you're having a meeting, you can then be approving your tasks and so on.
That's fantastic. Now, Adam, I look, you're holding out on us and you're being way too humble here. Tell us a little bit, like I know you guys were, listed as the ninth company worldwide to develop a Copilot app. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that was a highlight of our business. So we've built again within Teams, we've built an accounts payable app which uses AI to read invoice data and then route it to the relevant people and so on with that built-in audit trail. And so we had that as a Teams app. And then we were early adopters of Copilot. And as you said, we were the ninth company to develop a standalone Copilot app, and we were really humbled to be shown up on the screen and highlighted by Satya Nadella at the Ignite conference in Seattle in November last year. So it was definitely
Wow,
a highlight of our business life.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, where can people go to find out more information about that app?
That's on our website is autopilot.co.za. Otherwise, autopilotworkflows.com. Otherwise, we sell through the Microsoft Store. So if you go to the Teams, to the app section within Microsoft Teams, search for Autopilot Accounts Payable, you'll find us there, and the Copilot version is there as well.
I know Rudy's got a lot of questions for you about the story, which, by the way, wanted to congratulate you as well. I know you guys were both a global and an EMEA finalist in the P2P Awards, for ISV. So congratulations on that. I mean, it sounds like you guys are just doing some amazing work. And Rudy, I mean, I turn it over to you to ask some of those questions about the award.
Great. Well, Adam, it's great learning about your company and especially the growth of your business there in South Africa. So, in this story that you're about to tell us, that you submitted for the finalist, where you were selected as a finalist, can you tell us a little bit about the client, the size of the company, the industry that we're in, how you implemented the technology, and the challenges that organization was facing?
Sure. So the client is a company called TalkSure. They're a financial services company based up in Durban on the east coast of South Africa. And they had challenges in their procurement process with getting approvals, invoice approvals done, purchase order requisitions. They found their existing systems weren't that user friendly. So, people had to log into different systems as opposed to, as I mentioned, just being able to have single sign on within Teams and being able to approve tasks, in that case, financial tasks. Also, the system that they currently had was very rigid. Our solution, our ethos, if you like, is to customize a solution for a particular client where a lot of other vendors force you to fit into their process. So we um, we built a system for them that wasn't as rigid, but still had a full enterprise security, still has the audit trail, and all the features of an enterprise solution. And I guess the last version was perhaps the cost. Our costing model is transaction-based model, which we think is really fair. So the more you use, the more you pay. If you don't use it that much in one month, you don't pay. So they were currently on a system where they had to pay per user, and they found a lot of users weren't using the system, but they were still having to pay for it.
So, did this integrate with an ERP system of any kind? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So it integrated with Microsoft Dynamics, um, and that was key. That we used that integration, and we used Microsoft Power Platform to handle that integration.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful to hear. So, how did you come about meeting this client and partnering with someone to help build this solution?
So, in terms of our meeting the client, our best referrals or our best clients are through referrals. So that's exactly what happened. We've got another client based in a similar area who we had done work for many years, and he moved over to TalkSure, and he said, "Yeah, your systems are archaic. You need Autopilot in here." So he introduced us to the company, and things flowed from there. And it was amazing to they're amazing company to work for. Our biggest challenge is clients not knowing what they want, or us having to do a lot of analysis and really dig in. And because our system is so flexible, often we'll go in and say, right, we want a finance system, and then HR gets involved, or people don't have time and energy to just give us that basic framework. And that's probably the biggest challenge in our business. But TalkSure knew exactly what they wanted, and their head of finance knew exactly how the process needed to be laid out. So we could use our low code builder to build the solution for them swiftly.
Do you work with other IMCP partners, or how do you work with them to let them know about the flexibility and capabilities of your product to help you promote your sales across the country?
Yeah, so we took a decision only around 10 months ago to work directly through partners. We've always worked ad hoc through partners. We had worked ad hoc through partners, but we found because we were doing customer facing work, our product was slipping. So 10 months ago, we took a decision to not deal with customers anymore and only deal through the channel. And that allowed us to really enhance our product, build the Copilot solution that Antonio was speaking about earlier, and really focus on enhancing the product, and then work entirely through partners. So Greenlight Solutions, the partner we work through at TalkShow, in fact, yeah, because they're from the same area as us, we've known them for many years. So we both IMC partners, but we didn't meet through IMCP. But subsequently, we've met a number of partners through IMCP, and it works really well. Getting to know partners, getting a feel for each other, and then hopefully expanding the relationship.
Since you're based in South Africa, is that the only geography you work, or are you trying to expand globally? What are your prospects there?
No, we work globally, both with partners and clients. And Microsoft has been amazing source of clients for us through the Team Store. I mean, that's been amazing. We've been in the Microsoft Azure Marketplace and App Source for a number of years, and we get some leads from them. But the main source of our leads is the Microsoft Teams Store. So within Teams, at the bottom left, there's that app section, and people search for either for Autopilot, but generally it's a term like onboarding. So we get a number of international leads through the Microsoft Store, and that really helps us to boost our business.
Well, that's great. Well, since we mentioned geography, I know Anthony's kind of chomping at the bit to ask you something because we heard a little story about you. So, Anthony, why don't you ask that question?
So I know that the worldwide kneeboard championships were held there in South Africa, and Adam, you've got a little bit of insight on that.
Anthony, you've certainly been doing your homework. Yeah, so I started bodyboarding when I was 6 years old, and then progressed to kneeling, and I've just stayed there ever since. So I ride what's called a knee board. It's effectively surfing on your knees, and
Hmm.
we were honored to have world championships here in South Africa last week. We had 140 competitors from all over the world coming here to
Wow.
compete at one of the best waves in the world, Jeffreys Bay, and everything just aligned. The waves, the community, the weather, everything just came together. And I had a pretty good run as well. I managed to come 17th overall and fifth in my
Wow.
age group. So
Do you do that every year, or is this just kind of I know you've been doing kneeboarding since you were younger, but in terms of competing in this championship, is that something you do every year, or is this just a one-time thing?
no, I've been working too hard, so I didn't compete. So they only have it every second year. 2 years ago was in Portugal, and the 2 years before that was in New Zealand. But I've been focusing on family and business, so
Uh-huh.
I didn't go to those ones. So it's amazing to be back in the fold, and I was with some people I haven't seen in 20 years. So it was very
Wow.
special.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curve here, and put you on the spot. So, what can you relate, like tie in, like what have you learned, like, or maybe relate between kneeboarding and then creating good partnerships? Is there anything you can relate, tie in, or learn from that experience and be able to translate it to another?
Yeah, I've never really thought of it that way, but
I know.
now that you mention it, it's actually because obviously kneeboarding, you have to be a little bit eccentric or maybe out the box thinker and so on. It's not your typical uh, sport or wave riding craft. People either bodyboard or surf, and so it's quite a what we like to think a nice unique blend of people in between there. And I would say our partners are similar in a similar context, maybe not as quirky and so on, but we really go to great lengths to choose the best partners that have got a really good fit for us, and for our organization. So they need to be like, we spend a lot of time training up our partners and so on. And like, there's no point in investing all this time if they're not going to, be involved. So we spend time with our partners and make sure that they're committed and that we share the same values, and that
Hmm.
they also in a similar industry type, and obviously then the time zones as well is a crucial one to make sure that we can each partner depends on their time zone as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you so on that note, I mean, do you have a set of criteria that you have for selecting a partner?
Yeah, so the first one is that they in our in our industry, when I say in our industry, they are building automation solutions for companies. Our strength, if you like, is the fact that we've got a low code solution that encompasses things like verification, encompasses digital signatures through DocuSign, and has the integration into Microsoft. And if they custom deving or using other tools to build solutions like this, we've got that solution for them. So the one thing is that they need to be in that gambit, if you like. The second thing, there must be most of our partners are interested in is expanding the annuity income of their business. A lot of partners, they're system integrators and they're selling hours, and our model allows them to do that, but then also get the annuity income, so they can effectively run a annuity income business, a SaaS business, or get that revenue as a SaaS business without building their own product. Because to be honest, like one of the biggest learnings that we had, so I mentioned we moved from Pilotfish, which was a services business to a product business. And we're building amazing services, we're building products for our clients. So we thought, well, it can't be that difficult to then build a product for our own on our own. But it's been 10 years and it was really tough in the beginning. So if I had to do it over, I would definitely have the split between spending money on tech and spending money on marketing. We were probably in the 80 80% tech money and 20% marketing. And if I had to do it again, I would definitely go 50-50 at least. Age old adage of having the best product out there, but if no one knows about it, it's not worth much.
Well, as a partner in a marketing agency, I would say yes and amen to that. So,
You're not just the people we should use.
everybody needs to know and take what Adam just said to heart. That's fantastic. Um, I actually, there was something that you mentioned, and that you talked about, like with SIs who want to expand their into annuity income. And I'm going to get back to the story because it's some questions about the story, but I thought that was really fascinating, and just maybe if you can just briefly tell a little bit more about that, because there might be some partners listening who would be interested in that to be able to expand their revenue base that way.
Sure. So, I mean, I suppose it is the buzzword of making money while you sleep and sitting on the beach and the money rolls in, and it definitely hasn't been the case for us. But people do want annuity income, and our model, we like to see it as a win-win scenario. So we provide the product, the training, the platform, and then our partners get the majority of the consulting fee. So they're still getting their services income, but then get 20% of the annuity income. And that's a way of them building up their business, as I said, without really having to build a product and having all the pitfalls that come with that. And we also can provide them with a lot of leads as well, so they don't have to go out and market the product and so on. So it just makes it a lot easier for them. And also having the low code builder really helps them, so they can use junior or mid range developers to develop enterprise solutions because it's a structured code base and so on.
That's fantastic. Really appreciate you sharing that. So going, back to the story, and just, with your partnership, with Greenlight Solutions, and working with the customer. What did you guys have any challenges during the engagement? And if so, what were they, and how did you all work together to overcome it?
To be honest, I mean, with this client, it was seamless. It's not always that way, but for this client, it worked really well. They did their due diligence on us. Like, it took quite a while for us to get the end contract. They wanted to check everything out. We built a proof of concept for them, but subsequently, it really flowed really well. As I said, they knew exactly what they wanted, and Greenlight were amazing in delivering that solution. And we could tweak it and so on. We took a lot of time with testing. Obviously, it's a financial system. You need to make sure that it works really well. So we've got quite a unique solution where we build from scratch. So we when we built Autopilot, we built a test environment into the actual product. So we don't wireframe or do anything like that. We build directly into the test version of Autopilot, which is a great feature because the client can see exactly what it's going to be like. It's not, well, look at this wireframe, imagine what it would be like on a screen or in a system. They're seeing exactly what it's like within Autopilot with a big red band across the top that says test mode. So that's how we built the system, so we can iterate and they can make changes visually. And then we went through that process, did a lot of testing, and then Also, the change management. They had a great change management team, because that's maybe the other challenge of a business. Again, to the similar theme that I was speaking about earlier, great product even within the organization, but people are people, and sometimes they're resistant to change and want to stick to doing it on paper or email or whatever. But Talkshaw had an amazing rollout plan, a change management plan to ensure that all the users bought into the system and move forward from day one.
Well, Adam, you're a man after my own heart. I've been in the development world for many years myself, and I understand the challenges that you've gone through having built systems like this, and it's exciting to see and hear the success that you've had with this client. So, can you tell us a little bit? I know you increase customer satisfaction because you've described that. Did this help them increase their revenue or improve their cost efficiencies at TalkSure as much as I'm hearing?
It did, and it continues to do so. So, I mean, some of the things were less time spent on reworking. It obviously saved senior managers a lot of time, that they don't have to rework their product and their steps along the way. They could approve tasks from mobile devices and allow reporting. So all of that saves time, which then saves money. The other area that we're saving time on, or saving money on, is the fact that we're now expanding within the organization. So, we started with the financial workflows, but we're now moving into the employee onboarding. They've got 1,200 employees. So, yeah, they're constantly expanding. So by assisting them to onboard new employees and choosing the right employees, that's definitely affecting their bottom line and saving them money.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough to read the case study before this interview, and it's an inspiring case study. Are you using that to help you promote your business some more and work with other partners?
Absolutely, it's been a great case study, and we can say, we can preach how good Autopilot is from the hilltops, but when the customer says it with such conviction, that's how we gain trust with partners and with new clients. So it's definitely a big way for us to promote our company. And in fact, we've just launched a new case study yesterday for the YMCA. We handle the YMCA, and we have done for 10 years, the YMCA in South Africa. And we've really assisted them. They get a lot of donations, and obviously those donations need to be carefully managed with an audit trail. And that's one of our biggest wins, if you like, that we've saved them between what they said, between 30 and 40% of their time with their auditors since using
Wow.
Autopilot. So who doesn't want to spend less than, you know, 30% less time with their auditors? With respect to the auditors, it's been a great success for us.
Well, those are great statistics and wonderful that you can deliver that much value for your customers. So, in closing, what advice would you give to companies like yours regarding partnering? Obviously, you've been successful with it. What advice could you give other IMCP members?
Yeah, it hasn't been an easy road. As I said, we've been running for 10 years and only committed 100% to partnering 10 months ago. So it is all about finding that balance between doing the work yourself and obviously retaining that income, and then handing over that income to other partners in the hope that you get enough partners to grow the business. But for us, it was a no-brainer because we needed to enhance our product, and that's our way to scale is through partners. So choosing the right partner, as we've said, is absolutely critical. Um, One of the best feelings we had in the business was a new client, our partner signed up a new client, a chicken franchise here in South Africa. They've got 90 stores around the country, and we didn't even know about them. And the partner had found the lead, uh, signed up the client, built the solution, and then came to us and said, right, it's all done. You go forward. And that's obviously the, the dream. So it's getting that cash flow right, that balance between giving up on some revenue with the aim of growing your business, choosing the right partners, and really ensuring that, as we said earlier, that they're committed to working with you to grow your business, because you don't want that reputation to your brand reputation can go down if they don't deliver, and you don't want to spend too much time with partners that then don't work with you to go forward. But that's where IMCP comes in, where generally the members there are solid, and that's a great source of potential partners for us, and that's been invaluable for us as a business.
And I actually have one more question, if it's okay. Just it's not necessarily related to about like with partnerships and the story, but you brought something up that I think listeners would really would like to hear a little more about. Is you had mentioned, I mean, obviously you've got extensive, experience, in the Azure marketplace and in app source for years. And you said something earlier about, and I wanted to ask you about this, where you get a lot of leads from the team store. So somebody who's got, a lot of years experience in the the different marketplace environments that Microsoft provides. What's some advice you would give to partners who want to look to try and generate leads, in these different marketplaces? What'd be some tips, some advice, things to consider, questions to ask?
Sure. So, I mean, we were again really early adopters into the Teams marketplace. So, it was a smaller pool, if you like. So we got increased interest through that, showing clearly defining what your app does. So, let's say employee onboarding. Does that mean recruiting? Does it mean a new employee submitting all their documents and so on? Or does it mean induction once the person employed videos? So, and we have clients who we say employee onboarding, and we have clients coming for all three of those areas. So my point is, you need to define clearly what your product offers, great visuals and so on. Obviously, you need to get into the Microsoft, like they've got their templates and so on. But we pride ourselves in great UX and really, striking visuals, and then showing the benefit of being within Teams, showing the benefit of the fact that if I'm on a conference call and then pings me over there to say, right, approve this task, I can do that from the same app as opposed to logging into a completely separate app. And then also relying on, the fact, and Microsoft are really stringent in terms of allowing people into that store. They really do their homework, and really, we had some sleepless nights and some painful times really trying to get our apps approved. But once you've crossed that hurdle, then like you've almost further down the funnel where people know, okay, Microsoft have vetted this company, that they must produce good work and they must be secure and so on. And then the other side is on the commercial side. I mean, Microsoft have got an incredible model of Microsoft take 3% of. So basically, our clients can pay Microsoft directly, and then we don't need to be onboarded as new customers, which really helps with large corporates. We don't have to go through that whole vendor onboarding scenario. Our clients can then pay Microsoft, so Autopilot appears as a line item on their Microsoft bill, and then Microsoft take 3% of that, which it's for nothing. Then we don't have to get involved in invoicing or anything like that. So it's a win-win situation. You're getting leads, you in the place that you want to be, and you've got Microsoft handling the commercial side for you. So it's been a win-win for us.
Mm-hmm. Really appreciate you sharing that. I know our listeners will also. They're people are always looking for ways to how can they not only leverage utilize partnerships to scale your business like you had mentioned, but also best utilize those marketplaces. So really appreciate you sharing that perspective. We'll also include a link to the different apps in the show notes for those who are interested in finding out more. So Adam, this has been fantastic. Thank you again. As we wrap up here, how can people connect with you and find out more about you?
Sure, through our website, autopilotworkflows.com. Otherwise, as I said, through Teams, or through LinkedIn, Adam Shapiro, South Africa.
Excellent. Well, Adam, have a great day, and thank you again for being a guest today.
Wonderful. Thank you for the opportunity, Anthony, Rudy. I really appreciate it.
Wow, what a great episode. I really appreciate how Adam shared his perspective on a variety of things, even outside of partnerships, like specifically just his experience from the kneeboarding championships this year and how he related that, to partnerships and just the importance of, finding those that are out of the box thinkers, the time spent on training and onboarding, as well as just the ongoing commitment to getting the job done. So I thought that was just a fun, analogy and how you liken that, as well as what a really cool experience. How about you, Rudy?
Well, I really enjoyed the interview with Adam, and one thing I really picked up on him that I found really unique was that sometimes in your business experience, that sometimes you have to change your business development strategies, and that was an important point that he brought up. That about 10 months ago, they decided that selling direct was not the best way to promote their product, and that it would be better selling through a channel. So they've developed their business development strategies now to sell through partners because one, they can train, if they select the right partner, they can train them very carefully, which allows that partner to position their solutions integrated with that partner, other partner solutions, and they work much better because they're able to learn more about what a client's needs really are, and then they're able to build the solution that is going to impact their business even better. The other thing he brought forward with that was not only does a client get a great solution, but they've even found that by developing their products and getting them certified by Microsoft to be sold in the Team Store or App Source, that they're able to now work around one of the challenges that a lot of partners face when selling to the enterprise about being an established vendor. Microsoft is already an established vendor and they can sell through those stores, and it eliminates that problem. So it makes customer acquisition much easier and simpler
Mm-hmm.
for them as a business. So I thought that was a unique story from Adam.
No, and that was great, and that I agree. And obviously, as partners in a marketing agency, I really appreciate how he said he would, rather in the past he spent 80% on product development, 20% on marketing. He would go 50-50, as part of his with his go to market. So I applaud that, and to your point, just with his experience in getting leads, from the Azure Marketplace, Microsoft App Source, and Team Store, and just how he broke down just some really good practical tips, for companies who are not only wanting to, scale their business through partnerships, but also utilize these phenomenal marketplaces provided by Microsoft.
In closing, both Anthony and I want to thank you for joining us on this episode of IMCP Profiles in Partnership, powered by Dunamis Marketing. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and find it useful and inspiring. If you did, please subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to follow us on social media and connect with us on our website, iamcp.org, where you can find more information, resources, and opportunities to partner for success. One of the best ways to partner for success is to join the IAMCP, a community of Microsoft partners who help each other grow and thrive. IAMCP members can find and connect with other partners locally and globally, access exclusive resources and opportunities. Whether you're looking for new customers, new markets, or new solutions, IAMCP can help you achieve your goals. To learn more, visit their website, iamcp.org.